How's everyone doing? It's your boy, A-Dog TV. That's another day of Gossip TV. This is going to be the last part of the conversation that we're having in this podcast.
Friends can, make me feel like, the contribution of women is nothing. I shut them down immediately because I see what women go through. And any of my female friends that feel like what men do is not important, I shut them up immediately because what men are doing, they are risking their life every single day. There are men right now under the sea welding iron. Imagine you are under salt water and you are welding with electricity.
She couldn't imagine because she wouldn't be doing anything like that.
One mistake and you are gone. You are fish food. Facts.
Wow.
So true, man. But hey, you wouldn't find women doing that job. You know what I'm saying? Not that we wouldn't let women do it, but you can't force a woman. The woman has to want to do it and want to apply for it. But women don't apply for those kind of jobs. You feel me?
And
There are women doing this.
There are women, listen, there's a woman in space right now.
I mean, a woman can
He
be
can
in
help us with the
space
stats.
right
I don't have
now.
the stats.
But
There
like,
are
how
obviously
many
there are obviously
women
is a hard job.
science, technology, engineering, and
That's a hard job now.
You don't have to go
Men do the
far.
harder job.
Largely because of the barriers
You
of
don't have to go
entry.
far.
He's saying that
Boko
men do
Haram.
the harder job.
How many women
Can
are there?
women do
That's
the
not a
harder
job. That's terrorism.
No, I mean the opposition, the men fighting. Like we had a soldier here.
You had a soldier where?
We had him here. He
Okay.
was 2.5 years in
What, in service?
Maiduguri.
4 years and 9. 4 years and 9
In the
months.
forest, 2.5 years
Yes,
in the forest itself.
So where we go? Is
There were no women
Is
there.
this a
Why?
question about who has it harder? Is that what we're discussing?
Yes.
Okay, so if you want my answer, I can give my answer.
Yes, please. Farah, are you done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, please.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way. Anyway, so my answer to the question is women have it harder because I'm yet to meet a man who can tell me what measures he takes every single day to prevent being killed by a woman. Because when I speak to any woman, especially on a night out, it's 4 a.m., you're heading home, you've called your Uber, the first thing her friends are going to do is ask her, please let me know when you're home. There's a reason why. And largely that reason is because that Uber ride could be the last Uber ride she ever takes.
What? That don't even make sense. So what she's talking about is women being in danger in men's hands. I understand what she's trying to say because obviously men are stronger, whatever, and there are bad men out there. There are 100% there's bad men out there. But one thing she's not understanding is that's danger, yeah, but being in front of a wrong man. But us men, we put ourselves in danger. We go and fight war to protect our family. We're not out there, hopefully this happens or that happens. No, we actually know that there's a possibility of us not coming back home to our family, but we'll still do it for our family's sake, So
Now, aside from
We
that,
ask our homies if they make it home as well. Anything can happen. You can get in a car accident or someone can actually harm you. Like, the point she's trying to make is kind of crazy to say that men are always trying to harm women.
as well, we're living in a world where we have to have our governments create laws to stop men from marrying female children. That's a huge issue. If your government needs to tell you to stop marrying children, then men have a problem. Now, aside from that as well, when we look at mortality rates around the world, and we look at how the women's reproductive system is controlled, especially in America, what's happening right now with the abortion rules and the abortion laws, where depending on what state you live in, you're not allowed to have an abortion, even if you are a 9-year-old child who was raped by a family member. Now, I don't know anywhere in the world where there are laws put in place to stop men from having autonomy over their reproductive systems. So when we're talking about who has it harder, we have to also think about why we're having this discussion, because we could spend forever arguing about men's feelings and how men have it harder because they do harder jobs. But the reality is there is still no place in the world where a man stands to lose his human rights because he is a man. But we have many places in the world where, depending on what country you're in, your rights as a woman is reduced. I mean, look at Iran right now.
last I checked, all citizens fall underneath the blanket of a nation. So it don't matter what country you in, male or female. There's things that men cannot do. There's gonna be things that women cannot do. And when it comes down to the whole abortion thing, the reason why it's selective in certain states, we just talking about America, is because it's still somewhat immoral when you think about it. You're killing a child. So I don't understand how they could be arguing something like that. That's why it's so dicey, because it's immoral.
Look at the countries in the world where we're seeing
Okay, I see where she's coming from, because obviously if something happened because a woman got raped and you're in a country where you can't get rid of the baby, you can't, then you're gonna be living with a guilt forever. I hear what she's saying. I hear what she's saying. But I think what the government is saying is, even if you don't want to keep the child, you can give birth to the child, and the child can go for adoption, can have a better life with someone else, the people that can't have babies, rather than getting rid. So, yeah.
these new ideas and forceful laws being pushed on women to the point where now you're not allowed to have any skin visible except a slit for your eye to be shown. And that's not me talking about religion, that's talking about control over women's bodies. I would like anybody in the room to tell me of a country in the world, at least one country in the world, where men have laws imposed on their bodies, especially their fertility rights.
I tried this earlier just out of curiosity. You basically enter details like your name.
Okay, I see where she's going with that, but then again, that is the religion law that was made by other people, so we couldn't say much about it, really and truly. Obviously, I don't know much about the reason why it is like that. I don't want to speak on something I don't know about, but I can see what she's saying. I see what she's
Into this
saying.
free refund check.
So if you can't give me an answer, you can't tell me that men have it harder in the world. Because you, as a man, you will never know the experience of being told that you don't have the final say over what you do with your body. Even in a circumstance where, for example, you've been raped without your consent and you're still forced to keep that pregnancy, and how that
Yeah, if a man rapes, he going to jail.
ruins your life for the ongoing future. Men don't have that.
I disagree with you.
Because give me your
I
response.
disagree with you
Of course you would
because
disagree now.
the little boys that have been, there's a lady on TikTok that just for TikTok gifts, she was giving head to her child, her 2-year-old
That's
child.
disgusting. That's disgusting.
That video is out there.
That's inappropriate on her part. She shouldn't have done that.
Can you let me
And
talk?
she deserves
Let me
prosecution.
finish. Can she stop interrupting?
Finish your point. My name is Chidera, by the way. I'm not she. Thank you. Finish your point.
Can she stop interrupting?
Finish your points.
All right, Pharaoh, finish
No.
Finish that your
Little
nonsense
boys,
points.
little boys. It's nonsense. She just called it nonsense points. A little boy that is being given head by his own mother. She said it's a nonsense
That's
point.
disgusting. She did
This
not
is
do
a
that.
demon right here. You
You're
guys,
the demon.
Straight up.
You're the
She's a
demon. That's
right
why
here.
you're not at rest. That's why I'm triggering you so much.
So,
You can't even look at me. You're scared.
I'm not even
Are you
triggered because
scared?
of you.
Oh,
you know?
you're so scared. You
I'm
can't
not
even
triggered
look
because
at
of
me.
you. So I feel the pain of
Oh, you feel the
a
pain.
lot of people.
Is it
That
hurting?
we
Chidera, please, Pharaoh, I think it's important that as adults, we show respect to each other.
Oh, of course.
Exactly.
Why we might not agree.
Please finish. Let him finish his
Chidera,
point.
Chidera,
I'm listening.
So why we might not agree.
We
or
can
why-
still listen.
Yes, it's
Yes.
important that we allow people express themselves.
Ngwa,
and
finish your
as
points.
adults, we show respect.
Ngwa,
please.
let's let him finish
So
his
moving
point.
on. Let's
Moving
just-
on. Ngwa, finish your
Chidera,
point.
wait now.
I'm letting him finish the point now.
Let me finish
Ngwa,
first.
finish your points.
Let's allow
I'm gonna leave it right there. I can't really listen to any more of this. This is pretty crazy. This debate is really, really long. This is almost 3 hours long. So
That's crazy, man. I'm gonna try and find the original video for this, and my next video I'll react to the other parts that I didn't, but the other topics I didn't. But I think to finalize everything, what I would say is, when it comes to who has it harder, is it a man or woman in life? I think we have it in different ways. Of course, like who is safer? Of course, it's like saying putting a dog in front of a lion. Who is safer? Of course, the lion is safer. But it's stronger, isn't it? It's just one of those ones where, it doesn't make sense. If you was to talk about power, a woman can't overpower a man, but a man can. But doesn't mean that they should. But we're trained to learn. We're trained to respect ourselves and move accordingly, you know, respect women, because we are here to look after them rather than harm them. Of course, there are men out there that don't believe in these rules and regulations, and they still try to, you know, overpower women because of they can kind of thing. But there are laws in space to deal with those type of men. So, you know, because a man does it, it's not like when a man does something bad to a woman, other men come around and support the man. We don't do that. But when a woman does wrong to a man, other women come and support the woman, because it's like, you're a girl's girl, you're a girl's girl. You never criticize a woman for doing something wrong, but us men, we criticize men when they do something wrong 100%. We'll drag them down everywhere and tell them, no, this is not right. You feel me? But the moment you try and criticize a woman or drag a woman down over something she done, Lord God have mercy. Yeah, there's a chance you can get cancelled. I'm gonna leave it there. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop down in the comments as well. Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy, A-Doc TV. That's another Dove Gossip TV. I'm out. Peace.